Welcome back to Horoscope TV. Grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's get right into it.
Yeah, we have a really fascinating week to talk about today.
We really do. And if you are listening to my voice right now, I am talking directly to you, our Gemini listener. This time is, it's carved out entirely for you.
Exactly. This is all about your specific charts.
Right. So we are looking at the astrological charts and the astro data for the week of March 23 to March 29, 2026. And looking at your charts, you are in for an incredibly dynamic ride.
It really is a dynamic week. The astro data tells a very clear story of transition here. It is definitely not a week that just flatlines or stays on one single note.
Yeah, not at all.
You are going to feel a massive shift in the weather, so to speak, every couple of days.
Absolutely. So what is our mission today? We are taking these charts, these planetary movements, and we are breaking them down so you know exactly what is coming and how to handle it.
Right, taking all that data and making it useful.
Exactly. Just to give you a quick bird's eye view before we get into the granular details, this week is basically a three-part journey.
A very distinct three-part journey.
Yeah. It starts off incredibly light. It has this curious, fun, almost bouncy energy on Monday.
Which is great.
It is. But then, right in the middle of the week, the universe kind of asks you to step up. It demands absolute maturity and serious foundation building from you.
Which is heavy, but necessary.
Right. Very necessary.
Yeah.
And then by the time we reach Sunday, it concludes with a total physical reset.
It is a complete narrative arc, really. You are starting with your head in the clouds, coming down to the very hard, solid earth, and then cleaning up the physical space around you.
It really requires you to be highly adaptable.
But thankfully, being adaptable is exactly what the Gemini energy is known for,
Exactly. You are the sign of the twins. You know how to shift gears.
You do it better than anyone.
So let's talk about where this week begins, because every week has to start somewhere, right? And for you, the charts show Monday kicking off with an incredibly bright social spark before any of that heavy midweek work begins. Let's look at Monday, March 23.
This is a really nice placement.
It is. The moon actually moves right into your sign. The moon enters Gemini. And the charts say this brings a totally fresh breeze of curious energy to your daily life.
A fresh breeze is a great way to put it. To really understand what this means, we have to look at what the moon actually does in astrology.
Break that down for us.
So the moon is your emotional core. It is your instinct, your gut reaction, and what you need to feel comforted.
Okay.
When the moon is moving through other signs, you might feel a little out of sync. But when the moon moves into your own sign, into Gemini, it connects your internal feelings directly with your natural outward personality.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it is like putting on a tailored suit that was made exactly for your measurements.
So everything just clicks. Your emotions and your actions are finally speaking the exact same language.
Precisely. And for you, that natural personality is all about curiosity. It is about communication, asking questions, and gathering information.
Right, taking things in.
Yeah. So when the moon hits Gemini, your emotional need is curiosity. You don't just want to learn, you emotionally need to learn.
Wow.
You feel safe and happy when your brain is moving fast and absorbing new things.
Yeah, the charts back that up completely. They show you will feel highly motivated to learn brand new things. In fact, March 23 is highlighted as one of the absolute best dates of the week for you.
It really is a peak day.
It's a day where the energy is just flowing in your favor.
Yeah.
And the astro data gives us some really fun, specific details to go with this.
I love these details.
Me too. For example, your lucky color for the week is yellow. Specifically, the brightest, most pure, undeniable, vibrant yellow you can possibly imagine.
Like hex code FFFF and arrow if you're a designer.
Exactly, like a fresh lemon or a sunflower in direct sunlight, just pure yellow.
If we analyze that color connection, it makes perfect sense astrologically. Colors carry frequencies and psychological weights.
Right, they aren't just random.
No, not at all. Yellow is the color of active, bright, mental energy. Think about it. It is not a restful color.
No, you wouldn't paint a bedroom bright yellow.
Exactly. You don't paint a bedroom bright yellow if you want to sleep deeply. It is the color of an idea light bulb turning on. It is the color of sunshine waking you up.
Oh, that's a good visual.
It is a highlighter pen pointing out the most important information on a page. It perfectly matches that fresh breeze of curious, intellectual energy that the moon is bringing you on Monday.
I really like that idea of the highlighter. It's like your brain is just highlighting everything interesting in your environment.
That's exactly how it feels.
And check out your lucky numbers for the week. The charts list them as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30.
Wow, just multiples of 5.
Yeah, it is just a straight run of 5s.
Which, again, represents a very fast forward-moving rhythm. Think about how you count by 5s.
It's fast.
Right, you don't plod along 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting by 5s is quick. It skips the slow steps. It has a bounce to it.
It really does.
It is energetic and efficient. It is the rhythm of someone who is walking fast with a clear destination, perhaps skipping a little bit.
It really is a bouncy rhythm. Now, here is where it gets incredibly interesting regarding your social life.
Oh, the compatibility charts.
Yes, you've got this bouncy, yellow, fast-paced energy, and the charts say your absolute best match this week is Leo.
A fire sign.
Exactly,
Yay.
because you share the exact same passionate and fiery approach to daily life right now. The astro data shows that when the moon enters your sign on Monday, Leo is the absolute perfect supportive partner to help you enjoy the simple, fun things.
And we can analyze exactly why that dynamic works so seamlessly based on the elemental signs.
Yeah, how does that work?
Well, Gemini, you are dealing with an air sign energy, your breezy, communicative, fast-moving nature. And Leo brings the fire.
Air and fire.
Right. A fiery Leo is perfectly equipped to support your breezy energy without holding you back. Air feeds fire. Fire warms the air.
It's a feedback loop.
Exactly. Leo understands your deep need for bold excitement, but it goes deeper than just having fun.
How so?
Leo is what we call a fixed fire sign in astrology. That means their fire isn't a wild, uncontrollable explosion. It is a steady, burning warmth.
Oh, I see.
Like a roaring fireplace in a well-built hearth.
Okay, I have to jump in here with a question because this is something I was wondering about when I first looked at the charts.
Sure, go ahead.
If yellow is such a bright, almost chaotic color, like a literal warning sign in some contexts, because it grabs your attention so fast,
Right.
and your lucky numbers are all multiples of 5, which is this rapid fire rhythm. How do you keep from just spinning out?
That's a valid concern.
Does this Leo partner actually help anchor you, or do they just add more fuel to your already fast-moving fire? I mean, are you two just going to be bouncing off the walls together?
That is a very perceptive question. The key to answering that lies in the words supportive and loyal that we see highlighted in your charts for this match.
Okay, supportive and loyal.
Yeah. You are right that neither Gemini nor Leo are earth signs. They aren't going to make you sit down, balance your checkbook, and be quiet.
Definitely not.
But Leo provides a center of gravity. Because they have that fixed energy, they give your fast-moving air a place to circulate. They give you a focus for all that joy and laughter.
So it's not just random energy.
No, so you aren't scattered. You are actively engaged in shared excitement. They are the audience for your ideas, and they reflect that warmth back to you with absolute loyalty.
The charts actually say they know exactly how to provide the loyal, pure affection you truly crave.
Which is so important.
It is. And together, you create an unstoppable team filled with bright joy, massive laughter, and deep, enduring respect.
It's a really beautiful dynamic.
So I'm picturing this energy like opening the windows of your house on the very first warm day of spring. You know that exact feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
The crisp air rushes in. The stale winter air is pushed out. Everything outside looks bright and fresh, and the sunshine is pouring onto the floor. And your Leo friend is like that ultimate hype friend who comes over, turns up the music, and just enjoys the sunshine with you.
That captures Monday's astro data perfectly. It is expansive, it is warm, it is highly social, and it is entirely focused on the joy of the present moment.
So Gemini, soak that up, enjoy Monday, text your Leo friend, wear something yellow, count by 5s, and just let your curiosity run wild.
Yes, make the most of it.
Because you really need to keep that hype energy in your back pocket. You are going to need the memory of it.
You really are.
The climate is about to change dramatically. By the time we hit Wednesday, the stars are handing you a massive, unavoidable reality check.
Yes, Wednesday is the pivot point of the week.
It really is.
The atmospheric pressure drops and things get very serious very quickly.
We're looking at March 25 now. And interestingly, the charts list this as another one of your best dates of the week.
Which might sound confusing at first.
Yeah, I have to warn you, the energy is the total absolute opposite of Monday. It is not breezy, it is heavy.
It is entirely different. On March 25, the sun forms a powerful meeting, what we call a conjunction with strict Saturn.
Strict Saturn. Just the name makes you want to sit up straight and apologize for something you didn't even do.
It does have that effect.
And the data confirms it. This specific event demands absolute maturity and total responsibility from you.
No slacking off today.
Let's break down how this hits the different areas of your life, starting with your career. The charts say you must take absolute total responsibility for your professional future right now.
You have to own it.
But the flip side is, if you do, your professional career is ready for massive long-term growth. You just have to be willing to do the hard work.
To understand why this day feels so heavy, we have to look at what these two celestial bodies represent.
Right. Let's look at the players here.
So the sun represents your core self, your ego, your vitality, and your central purpose. Saturn is the planet of rules, boundaries, time, karma, and very hard work. It is the cosmic teacher, but the kind of teacher who doesn't grade on a curve.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When the sun meets Saturn in a conjunction, it means they're occupying the exact same space in the sky from our perspective. The life-giving energy of the sun is being filtered directly through the strict, rule-abiding rings of Saturn.
So there are absolutely no shortcuts today.
None.
Yeah.
Zero. Saturn acts like a cosmic auditor.
An auditor.
Yes, it walks into the room of your career, pulls out the ledger, and asks, have you put in the work? Have you been cutting corners? Are you truly prepared for the next level?
That sounds intense.
It is. But if you step up, own your mistakes, and take that responsibility, Saturn rewards you with something that lasts. Saturn doesn't build sandcastles, it builds monuments.
So building a monument takes back-breaking labor.
Exactly. It's hard work.
And it doesn't stop at your career. The audit continues. Finances are also under this heavy anchor on Wednesday.
Oh yes, money is a big focus.
The astro data says financial matters look very serious and require your absolute daily focus right now.
No more fun little purchases.
No. It explicitly states you must completely stop any impulse shopping. No treating yourself, no quick online purchases because you had a stressful morning.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time to perfectly organize your daily budget.
Again, this is the strictness of Saturn demanding reality over fantasy.
Reality over fantasy.
Right. The fun, breezy energy of Monday might have wanted to spend money on something bright and exciting just for the thrill of the new. But Wednesday says, let's look at the actual numbers.
Ouch.
It forces you to acknowledge the reality of your resources. Impulse shopping is usually a quest for a quick hit of dopamine. Saturn offers zero cheap dopamine.
Zero.
It demands structure, delayed gratification, and financial maturity.
It even impacts your love life. The charts say your romantic life requires a completely honest and highly patient approach.
Saturn touches everything.
You might feel a heavy sense of serious duty in your personal relationships. This is a time to prove your absolute loyalty.
It's test time.
It is like the fun and laughter you shared with your Leo friend on Monday has to suddenly prove it has actual staying power when the music stops.
That is a brilliant way to phrase it. Saturn tests the foundations of everything, including who you love and who you associate with.
Right.
You know, the word duty is rarely used in modern romance. We like to talk about passion, chemistry, and sparks.
Yeah, the fun stuff.
But duty is the glue. Duty is what keeps people together when someone gets sick, when someone loses a job, when the fun isn't happening.
That's very true.
Saturn asks, are you truly committed to this person, or are you just here for the party? Proving your loyalty means showing up when it is inconvenient.
And maybe the most surprising part to me is how this actually affects your physical body.
The physical manifestation is fascinating.
Taking excellent care of your physical body is highly important right now. The charts say this intense meeting between the sun and strict Saturn might actually make your body feel very tired or physically stiff.
Yes.
It says you must prioritize getting plenty of deep sleep and complete rest every single night.
If we analyze this from a medical astrology perspective, it is fascinating how planetary events manifest in our actual biology.
Tell me more about that.
Well, Saturn rules the skeletal system. It rules the bones, the teeth, the joints, the cartilage, the literal physical structure that holds you upright.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when Saturn brings this heavy, demanding energy, you can literally feel it as physical stiffness. Your joints might ache. Your back might feel tight. Your body is mirroring the strictness and the pressure of the astro data.
That explains so much.
The exhaustion you feel isn't just physical. It comes from the sheer mental and emotional weight of taking on all this total responsibility at once.
My visual for this Wednesday energy is like this. Imagine you are still at that really fun party from Monday.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
You've got the yellow decorations, the music is loud, you're having a great time. But then a very strict, no-nonsense boss walks into the room, walks over to the stereo, pulls the plug out of the wall, and hands you a massive pop quiz that determines your whole professional future.
That is terrifying.
Right. You have to immediately put down your drink, sit up straight, check your bank account, prove you are a dependable friend, and your back actually aches just from the tension of having to sit up so perfectly straight in front of them.
That captures the sudden sobering shift perfectly. The universe is handing you a test, and you feel the gravity of it in your bone.
But I am looking at the charts, and I see a massive contradiction here. I really need you to explain this to me.
Okay, what is it?
If this day, Wednesday, March 25, makes your joints physically stiff, makes you utterly exhausted, completely cuts off your fun shopping, and feels like a heavy duty in your love life.
Yeah.
How on earth is this listed as one of the best dates of the week?
Why, it sounds awful.
Who looks forward to a day like that? Why is the astro data calling this a win?
It is a great question, and it is a trap a lot of people fall into when looking at their charts. We often confuse the word best with the word easiest.
Ooh.
Wednesday's definitely not easy. It might even feel like a slog. But it is listed as a best date because of the massive potential for long-term reward.
Okay, I think I'm following.
Saturn does not punish you just to be cruel. It tests you to ensure your stability. When you stop impulse shopping and actually look at your budget, you stop leaking money and start building real wealth.
Right, that makes sense.
When you prove your loyalty and love, you secure a bond that will survive the hard times. When you take total responsibility for your career, you unlock the door to massive long-term growth.
So it's about the payoff.
Exactly. It is a best day because it is a foundational day. You are pouring the concrete for the rest of your life. Pouring concrete is hard, dirty, heavy work. Your back hurts afterward. But you are so incredibly glad you did it when winter comes and you have a sturdy house to live in instead of a tent.
Wow. Okay, that frames it so much better. It is a best day for your future self, even if your present self just wants to take a nap and get a massage for those stiff muscles.
Exactly. You are investing in yourself.
So you are dealing with all this heavy Saturn concrete pouring on Wednesday, but we have to keep moving because Wednesday is actually incredibly crowded.
Very crowded.
While you are dealing with Saturn's strict rules, there are two other massive forces pulling at you on the exact same day, which brings us to what I'm calling hidden wealth and the walking clash.
Yes, the astro data for March 25 is layered with multiple overlapping events. It is a very complex 24 hours.
Complex is an understatement. First, the charts show that on this exact same day, there is a first quarter moon in the sign of Cancer.
Which is a whole different mood.
And this phase asks you to balance your public ambitions with your private home life. So on top of Saturn demanding you focus on your career growth, the moon is pulling your attention towards your living room.
You're being pulled in two directions.
And then there is a hidden treasure buried in the charts. The sun also forms a wonderful, helpful angle, a sextile with Pluto, bringing deeply transformative energy to your personal income.
This is the hidden wealth part.
Right. The data says you might find a totally brilliant new way to increase your wealth.
Let's analyze the emotional tension first. The first quarter moon always brings a push and pull. It is a crisis of action. It demands that a decision be made.
So you can't just ignore it.
No. Cancer is a sign deeply connected to the home, privacy, emotional safety, and family. So while Saturn is standing over you with a clipboard telling you to take absolute responsibility for your public professional future, this moon in Cancer is tugging at your sleeve, asking if your home life is secure.
That sounds exhausting.
You are being asked to balance both. You cannot ignore your family or your domestic life or your career, and you cannot hide out at home in your comfort zone and ignore your career. You have to walk the line between the two.
And right in the middle of that delicate balancing act, Pluto hands you a brilliant wealth-building idea.
Exactly. Pluto is the planet of deep transformation, regeneration, and hidden power. It rules things that are beneath the surface.
Beneath the surface, okay.
When it works harmoniously with the sun through a sextile, which is a cooperative, easy-flowing angle, it rewards that strict financial discipline Saturn just forced upon you.
Because you were paying attention.
Yes, because you were forced to look closely at your budget, you might suddenly spot a flaw in your finances that you can fix. Or you might see a totally new avenue for income that was hidden in plain sight. Pluto allows you to transform what you already have into something much more powerful.
Okay, so paint this picture with me. You have career pressure from Saturn. You have your home life pulling at you from the Cancer moon. You have a brilliant financial idea blooming in your mind thanks to Pluto.
You are juggling a lot.
You are juggling a ton. And then, into this delicate, high-stakes situation walks your absolute worst nightmare of the week. The charts are very clear on this next point. Your absolute worst match this week is Virgo.
Yes. The astro data strongly advises keeping your distance from this specific energy right now.
It says you will likely find it impossible to find any common ground with Virgo during this highly fast-paced week. It explains that when that first quarter mean happens, you, Gemini, deeply desire highly independent, autonomous activities.
You just want to work.
You just want to put your head down and get the work done. But Virgo wants to loudly rest and boldly conquer their boring, quiet, emotional goals.
Loudly resting.
Plus, that intense Saturn energy we just talked about, it triggers massive, completely unnecessary arguments between the two of you.
Because you're on different wavelengths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to act strictly and practically, while Virgo demands soft emotional comfort. The charts warn that their unpredictable moods will deeply disturb your peace. The advice is literally, avoid them entirely. Just stay away.
It is a very stark warning. If we
Yeah.
unpack the friction here, it comes down to fundamentally different coping mechanisms under the same cosmic weather.
Make that make sense for us.
You, Gemini, are vibrating at a very specific, serious, and autonomous frequency on Wednesday. You were trying to figure out your career, your home balance, your new wealth idea, and you were feeling the strict rules of Saturn in your very bones.
Right, you're focused.
To handle all that, you need independence. You need to focus. Virgo, on the other hand, is approaching the same heavy day entirely differently. They are seeking emotional comfort, processing, and soothing when you are in a purely practical, strict mindset.
That's a total clash.
That mismatch in needs creates an instant short circuit. You both frustrate each other because you are speaking entirely different emotional languages.
I am imagining this like you are walking a tightrope. That tightrope is you trying to balance your private home life and your public ambition.
That's a good analogy.
And while you are up on this thin wire, you are also trying to catch a heavy bag of money that someone is throwing to you that is the Pluto wealth idea.
Right.
You have to be perfectly focused, perfectly balanced. And meanwhile, Virgo is standing at the very bottom of the tightrope, loudly complaining that you aren't paying attention to them, talking about their feelings, and demanding that you come down right now and provide soft emotional comfort.
Yes.
If you listen to them, you will drop the money and fall off the rope.
That is exactly the dynamic. They require something from you, attention, soothing, a sounding board that you simply do not have the capacity or the bandwidth to give while you are navigating this complex day.
You just can't do it.
No. Any attempt to engage will just lead to resentment on both sides.
But I have to ask you about this one specific phrase in the charts because it made me stop and laugh out loud.
I think I know which one.
The data says Virgo wants to loudly rest and boldly conquer their boring, quiet, emotional goals.
It's quite a phrase.
What on earth does it mean to loudly rest? How do you boldly conquer a boring, quiet goal? Is Virgo just making a massive dramatic show out of doing absolutely nothing?
It is a brilliant contradiction in terms, isn't it? Loudly resting.
It's hilarious.
To understand this, we have to look at how Virgo energy operates under stress. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, just like you are, Gemini, which means they process the world through their minds and their words.
Okay, they're communicators.
But unlike your airy Gemini energy, Virgo is an earth sign. They need things ordered and categorized. When they need to rest, they often feel a compulsion to verbalize their entire process.
Oh, I see.
So they aren't just taking a quiet nap on the couch. They are announcing to the room how exhausted they are, detailing the reasons why they are exhausted, explaining the exact parameters of the boundary they are setting, and narrating their process of stepping away to process their emotions.
Oh, I know exactly the type of behavior you're talking about. It's the person who posts a 5-paragraph essay on social media announcing they are taking a break from social media.
Exactly.
It's so much extra work.
To your busy, Saturn-focused Gemini mind, which is trying to build a literal empire on Wednesday, their need to narrate their quiet time feels loud, intrusive, and frankly, incredibly boring.
You just don't care.
You don't care how they rest. You just want them to let you work in peace.
Yeah.
You are trying to balance the tightrope, and they want a standing ovation for taking a mental health hour. It is a total clash of priorities.
That makes perfect sense. You just don't have the time or the patience for the announcements. So the advice is simple and clear. Just avoid them entirely. Put on your noise-canceling headphones, keep walking your tightrope, catch your bag of money, and do not look down.
It is the safest bet for everyone involved.
Which is going to take a lot out of you. Honestly, after dodging Virgo's unpredictable moods, trying to balance your work and your home, and passing Saturn's heavy tests of loyalty and budget crunching, your heart and your spirit are going to need some serious patching up,
You're going to need a break.
which is why Thursday's energy is such a relief.
It is an incredible amount of pressure to hold, even for just 24 hours. The cosmos thankfully recognizes that and provides a moment of profound relief.
Let's look at Thursday, March 26. The charts show that Venus meets with the healing body known as Chiron.
This is a beautiful alignment.
And the data describes this as a highly sensitive and beautiful event. It says this specific alignment allows you to completely heal old romantic wounds and open your sweetheart again. It offers a truly beautiful opportunity to heal your emotional spirit.
This is a beautiful transition in the astro data. To understand the depth of this, we need to look at Venus and Chiron.
What do they do?
Venus is the planet of love, harmony, relationships, and what we value. Chiron, in astrology, is an asteroid or comet known as the wounded healer.
The wounded healer.
Right. In mythology, Chiron was a centaur who was a great healer but suffered a wound that would never close. He could heal everyone but himself.
Oh, that's sad.
In our charts, Chiron represents our deepest vulnerabilities, the tender spots we carry from past experiences, and the insecurities we try to hide. When Venus and Chiron meet, it is not about building walls or being stripped like Saturn. It is a deeply gentle, repairing energy.
It feels like finding the perfect tooling aloe vera gel after getting a really bad, painful sunburn.
Yes, exactly.
Wednesday was the harsh sun beating down on you, making your muscles stiff, testing you, demanding you work harder. Thursday is the aloe vera. It goes right to the tender spots and just cools everything down.
That is a very apt comparison. It serves as a necessary pressure release valve.
We all need one of those.
After the intense loyalty tests of the previous day, where you might have felt a heavy duty in your relationships, this Venus-Chiron conjunction targets both your romantic history and your overall emotional well-being. It softens the hard edges that Wednesday created. It allows you to breathe.
But let me ask you about the practical, real-world application of this. Because the phrase, open your sweetheart again, sounds lovely, but it can mean a lot of different things.
It can be interpreted in a few ways.
Does opening your heart mean you should rush right back into being fully vulnerable with someone new? Or does it mean calling up an ex to hash things out and get closure? Or is this more about privately forgiving past mistakes so you can personally move on?
That is a crucial distinction to make, especially for a Gemini who might be tempted to talk it all out.
We do love to talk.
Given the context of the week, remember, Saturn just asked you for absolute maturity and told you to stop impulsive behaviors. This is absolutely about private forgiveness and internal healing.
Okay, so it's private.
Yes. Opening your sweetheart again doesn't mean recklessly handing it over to someone who hasn't earned it, and it certainly doesn't mean reopening toxic communication with an ex.
So no late-night texts.
No late-night texts. Opening your heart means removing the heavy armor you put up because of an old wound. It means forgiving yourself for trusting the wrong person, or quietly forgiving someone else in your own mind, so that the memory of the pain no longer controls your current actions.
That's really powerful.
When you carry a romantic wound, it dictates how you treat new people. This transit gives you the grace to let that go. It is a quiet, profound, internal shift, not necessarily a dramatic external declaration.
Okay, so it is a soft internal healing. You apply the aloe vera to yourself in the privacy of your own bathroom. You don't need to go broadcast it. You just let it soothe you.
Exactly.
So your spirit is healed. Your budget is organized from Wednesday. You've survived the strict boss and avoided the loudly resting Virgo. You are feeling good. Which brings us to the weekend.
The weekend is huge.
You head into the weekend with a huge wave of joy, ready to build something permanent as long as you don't fall for any shady tricks along the way.
The energy shifts dramatically once again, pulling you back outward.
Right. So on Friday, March 27, the moon enters Leo. The charts say this brings a massive wave of creative joy. It is almost like that bouncy, yellow Monday energy coming back around to fuel you up for Saturday.
It gives you your spark back.
Because Saturday, March 28, is your final best date of the week.
And this is where all the hard, heavy, exhausting work from Wednesday truly pays off and solidifies.
Exactly. On March 28, Saturn forms a sextile with Pluto. The data says this helps you build a solid foundation.
It's a huge alignment.
It says you get a magical opportunity to transform your career path and build absolute lasting professional power. Absolute lasting professional power. That is a massive statement.
It is massive, and it is rare. If we analyze this alignment, it is one of the most constructive patterns in all of astrology.
Why is that?
We already know Saturn represents strict rules, hard work, discipline, and structure. We know Pluto represents deep transformation, regeneration, and hidden power.
Okay.
When these two form a sextile, which again is a cooperative, helpful angle where they are working as a team, they hand you the blueprint and the raw materials to build an empire.
They're handing you the keys to the kingdom.
Essentially, yes. And because the moon moved into Leo on Friday, you aren't doing this with the exhausted, stiff energy of Wednesday.
Thank goodness.
The Leo moon gives you the confidence, the warmth, and the creative joy to actually execute the plan on Saturday. You aren't just working hard, you are working with vision. You are inspired, you can see the long-term goal, and you have the power to make it happen.
So it is like you are building this incredibly solid brick mansion, which represents your career and your lasting foundation. But because of that Leo moon, you aren't miserable doing it. You're doing it while dancing to great music, feeling the sun on your face. You feel powerful and capable.
You're in your element.
But, and this is a massive but, there's a trap on the very same day. Saturday is a minefield if you aren't paying attention.
Yes, the Astro Data issues a very stark warning for March 28th that runs parallel to this empire-building energy.
The charts say on March 28, Mercury squares Lilith, and the instructions are very strict. You must avoid keeping secrets or playing silly mind games.
Don't do it.
You must speak clearly to maintain peace. Furthermore, regarding your finances, it says you must remain totally careful and avoid risky financial contracts.
Let's unpack the nature of this trap because it is insidious.
What's going on here?
Mercury is your ruling planet, Gemini. It governs your communication, your thought processes, your emails, your texts, and your contracts. A square is an astrological angle of extreme tension, friction, and conflict. It's like two cars arriving at an intersection at the same time and neither wants to yield.
Oh, that's never good.
Lilith, on the other hand, represents the shadow. It represents hidden things, rebellion, and sometimes manipulative, subversive behavior. When Mercury squares Lilith, communication becomes twisted.
It gets muddy.
Very muddy. There are hidden clauses in the paperwork. People might say one thing but mean another, testing your boundaries through manipulative games. They might withhold information just to see how you react.
Going back to my analogy of building the brick mansion while dancing to the music, it is like you are building your empire, feeling great, stacking those bricks. But you have to read the contract for those bricks very, very carefully, or someone might try to scam you.
Exactly.
There might be a hidden fee or a clause that says they actually own the house once you finish building it, and you didn't see it because you were distracted by the music and the joy of the Leo moon.
Precisely. In professional and financial matters, the Lilith energy is the hidden trapdoor in the contract.
Yikes.
And in your personal life, it manifests as those silly mind games the charts warn about. Someone might try to provoke a reaction from you by keeping a secret, giving you the silent treatment, or being intentionally vague to make you chase them for an answer.
So here is my question on how to handle that practically. If someone else is playing silly mind games with you on Saturday while you are trying to build your lasting professional power, what is the play? Do you stop what you are doing, confront them, and demand they speak clearly? Or do you just walk away to protect that solid foundation you are building?
Given the advice in the charts to maintain peace, the most effective strategy is to absolutely refuse to play the game.
Just don't engage.
You speak clearly and you demand clarity in return, but you do not engage in the drama. If someone texts you something passive-aggressive or intentionally vague, you do not spend an hour trying to decode it. You do not respond with a riddle of your own.
So what do you say?
You say, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let me know when you want to speak plainly. You set the standard of clear communication. If they refuse to meet that standard, you walk away and go back to building your mansion. You do not let their shadowy Lilith energy disrupt your Saturn-Pluto focus. You read the contracts, you state your terms, and you leave the mind games behind.
Oh, I absolutely love that approach. Let me know when you want to speak plainly. You just refuse to enter the maze they built for you. That is incredibly empowering.
It saves so much energy.
Which is exactly the mindset you need, because after a week of massive career transformations, strict budgeting, deep emotional healing, dodging Virgo's complaints, and navigating communication traps, you reach Sunday needing to just wash your hands of the chaos and start fresh. Which brings us to Sunday's clean slate.
It is the perfect conclusion to this specific astrological narrative. The charts resolve the tension beautifully.
Let's look at Sunday, March 29. The charts show that the moon enters Virgo. And the data says you will feel a strong desire to clean up your daily diet completely.
If we analyze why the moon moving into Virgo shifts your focus purely to your physical routine, it makes absolute sense within the context of the week.
How so?
Virgo energy at its core is about purification, routine, detail-oriented tasks, and the physical systems of the body, specifically the digestive system and how we process fuel.
Oh, okay.
After a week that started with tired stiffness from Saturn, pushed you through emotional healing with Chiron, and ended with heavy career building and dodging mind games, your body is essentially saying, okay, we have absorbed too much. We need to process all of this and clear out the junk.
Time to detox.
Cleaning up your diet is the physical manifestation of that need to process and purify your life.
It is like the ultimate Sunday chore day, but directed entirely at your own body. You are going into the pantry, throwing out all the processed junk food, wiping down the counters, and restocking the fridge with pure, healthy greens and fresh water.
Exactly.
You are physically resetting the machine so it is ready for whatever comes next week.
It acts as the perfect physical close to a highly demanding mental and emotional week. You are regaining control over the one thing you have absolute authority over, what you put into your body.
But wait a minute, stop everything. I have a glaring, massive question here.
I thought you might.
We just spent a significant amount of time talking about how Virgo is your absolute worst match this week. The charts literally said to avoid them entirely. We talked about them loudly complaining at the bottom of your tightrope, demanding emotional labor you couldn't give.
Yes, we did.
And now the moon is in Virgo, and we are supposed to embrace it.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense? Are we avoiding Virgo, or are we becoming Virgo?
I was hoping you would point out that irony. It is a fantastic question, and it highlights a crucial difference in astrological interpretation that often confuses people.
It's definitely confusing me.
There is a massive difference between interacting with a person who embodies Virgo personality traits and experiencing a temporary transit where the moon simply passes through the sign of Virgo.
Okay, break that down for me, because right now it sounds like a contradiction.
When you are dealing with a person whose energy is strongly Virgo, especially during the tense middle of the week when you were focused on Saturn, you are dealing with their specific human ego, their demands, their flaws, and their need to vocalize their rest, which clashed entirely with your need for independence.
Right. The loudly resting person.
Exactly. You avoid the person because their outward behavior and emotional demands disturb your peace. However, when the moon transits Virgo on Sunday, it is not a person talking to you. It is simply an atmospheric shift.
An atmospheric shift.
It is a background energy that highlights the pure elemental themes of Virgo organization, health, digestion, and purity within your own life. You aren't arguing with anyone. You are simply applying the beneficial, purifying aspects of that energy to your own refrigerator and your own body.
That makes a lot of sense.
You reject the interpersonal drama of the person, but you accept the internal, practical desire to get healthy from the transit.
Ah, that makes total sense. You don't want the Virgo person yelling at you while you walk the tightrope, but you do want the Virgo energy to help you organize your meal prep for the week on a quiet Sunday afternoon. You are using the tools of the sign without having to deal with the personality clash. That is brilliant.
It is a very practical use of astro data. You take what serves you, like the motivation to clean up your diet, and you leave what doesn't, like the mind games and the complaints.
Well, this has been an absolute journey. From the bright yellow curiosity of Monday, through the heavy responsibility and loyalty tests of Wednesday, past the tight ropes and the aloe vera healing, all the way to building a career empire on Saturday and cleaning out your fridge on Sunday.
It's a lot.
You have a lot to navigate this week, Gemini, but the charts show you have all the tools to do it.
It is a week of profound growth, provided you are willing to take the responsibility asked of you when Saturn calls.
Absolutely. But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. We talked a lot about the push and pull this week. You spent the middle of the week actively dodging Virgo energy because their boring, quiet goals and loud resting annoyed you while you were trying to catch wealth and build your career.
They are just in the way.
You wanted pure independence and fast action. But by Sunday, what are you doing? You are quietly cleaning up your diet. You are focusing on routine. You're engaged in boring, quiet goals.
Which is very Virgo.
What if those boring goals that Virgo was loudly talking about on Wednesday, the ones you ran away from, were actually the exact blueprint you needed to naturally find your own clean slate on Sunday? What What if they were just a few days ahead of you?
That is a fascinating perspective to consider. Sometimes the energy we reject the most is the energy we eventually have to adopt to find balance.
Something to think about as you stock up on those healthy greens. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode on Horoscope TV. We truly love walking through the stars with you.
We really do.
If you enjoyed this analysis of your week, please subscribe so you can get notified the exact moment the next episode is available. Have a bright, powerful, and grounded week, Gemini. We will see you next time.